Jodi, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do with princess parties, and then also kind of touch on how you got started.
Can do. Basically, we go to people's houses, and we are different characters, as seen for my dresses here. Yeah. We do different games with the kids. We sing to the children. And then we have bigger ticket items. We have glitter tattoos or crafts or things like that. And I did actually bring a couple things if I'm allowed to show them.
Yeah, of course.
So one of the games, it would come in a bag like this or in a basket
Shiny.
like this. I know, right? It's part of my collection. And one of the games is a search and find game. So depending on which character you would end up picking, you would have to go look for things like this.
Cool.
Or things like this. Or these, or those, or these. So lots of different things. That's one of the games that we play.
So what would be like a search and
a search and find. Yeah. So I tell the children, I use whatever room I have. I never know what I'm getting into. Sometimes I can get them to sit on the stairs. Sometimes I make them smell the wall. And they're like, oh, what? And I'm like, yeah, how's that wall smell? And they do. And I have the parents help keep them occupied. And as I'm hiding things, I'm like, you guys better not be peeking. And then I come back over and explain the game. And rule number 1 is no running. I make them repeat this with me. Rule number 2 is they can only find one item at a time, as I want to make sure everybody who's there, sometimes we have 15 kids, everybody gets a chance to find something and come and put it back in either the basket or the bag. Right. The bigger ticket items, the glitter tattoos are very self-explanatory. Makeup, also self-explanatory. And then sometimes we get to make crafts.
Oh, cool.
So each kid actually makes one?
Yeah, I hand make every single one of them, and they are a fridge magnet at the end. And when the kids get them, they look like this.
Oh, wow.
And everything is numbered. And generally we kind of go through it together so that the kids are learning their numbers. It's not just fun, it's a little bit educational as well. And I have a newer game.
I love new games.
I know, where I've made puzzles. And again, it works the same as the search and find game. When I arrived to the party...
That is a wonderful woman.
I know, it is a wonderful woman, isn't it? So when I arrived to the party, all of these are already taken off.
Cool.
These get hidden, and as the kids find them, they're all different colors on the back, and they all match all the different colors on the board. So they have to match up the shapes, they have to match up the colors, and you can really see the kids doing it. They'll bring it and they look at this and they look at the color and they're like, oh, where does this one go? I bet you, it goes right here. And they look at it and then they put it in the right spot. They're very, very smart, and I can see them thinking on this one. And then at the end, we all hold it up and say, ta-da, we did it. And they love that, so.
You put in a lot of work ahead of time.
I have. This is just one of the boards. Because we offer about 17 characters, this is just one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't have one for everybody yet, but I'm working on them. They take a lot of time to make. They're not the fastest thing, and they take a lot of layers of Mod Podge, let me tell you.
So you've got 17 characters?
Yeah, 17 characters that...
How many did you start with?
3.
Three characters all the way up to 17.
They were awful. I didn't wear makeup. I thought I was pretty enough. But looking back, looking back at the photos, not quite as when you're a princess, your eyes need to pop, your lips need to pop. Yes, I have a very fun personality, and the kids still appreciated that, anyways. But
very modest.
Thank you. But we always had fun. But looking back, I was like, no, this doesn't look quite right. And I knew I always wanted it to grow a little bit, but I never imagined it was going to go where it has. And my very talented Alicia La Fantasia, is that how I say her last name?
I think that's a party. I think that's La Fantasy.
Anyways, my very talented seamstress, she, a longtime friend, comes to me. She's like, Jodi, your costumes are awful. I'm like, I know. She's like, let me redo them. I said, Alicia, this is going to cost so much. She's like, no, we can do this. I'm like, okay, all right, let's start with a couple and see how this goes. It was the best thing that she ever convinced me to do. She has made almost every single costume now. We're
Including these two, right?
Including
Yeah.
these two, yes. We've
That's
actually made
amazing.
a second one of this.
Yeah.
And we are working on a second one of this.
That's awesome.
The only part she did not do is the embroidery. That actually goes out to Twitches and Stitches.
Yeah.
They were amazing. They ended up pulling that out literally hours before we needed it the next day. We had a photo shoot to do, and the whole dress was like ready to go except for that part, and they made it happen. They were amazing. So thank you, Twitches and Stitches. You guys are awesome. And thank you, Alicia, because she also pulls things together very, very last minute sometimes. There was a gig once where she literally was piecing me into one of the dresses so that I could wear it to the job within the hour.
Wow.
Yeah, she's amazing. I don't know where I'd be without her.
I'm not sure if the camera can pick up, but the detail in this is incredible.
Yes. She picks really, really good fabrics. We go to the shop, and it's overwhelming to see how much stuff is there, but we spend hours picking, okay, yeah, this isn't the one. This one looks better, and then she comes up with these beautiful dresses, and I'm forever grateful.
That's awesome. So if people want to find you, Jodi, or book a party, how would they go about doing that?
We have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
We do have a web page. I don't believe my web page is live. I've just kind of, that was the pitfall of my company. We kind of made one, but we didn't take it to the level we probably should have. But it does exist.
Yeah.
It's a Wix.
Yeah.
A Wix one. But Facebook is the easiest way, and the best way. Every time we do a gig, including the birthday parties, whoever we are, the kids get to have an autograph card.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
And all of the information is always on the back. The kids love them. I have had parents report back to me that kids bring them to the breakfast, lunch, and dinner table. I have had parents report to me, and I have physically seen it when I have gone back and done a second party.
And unfortunately, Jodi, I'm going to have to stop you right there.
No
but
worries.
We'll be back to finish that off. And thank you very much. We'll go to a break now.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You do nothing this
No,
time? You're not
no.
squirming or caught halfway over to the cookies or
behaving.
nothing? Yeah, okay, good. So, Jodi, before we were interrupted with a break last time, we were just talking about how people can find you to book parties and have you come to their parties.
Yes, and I was mentioning that every time we do a party, we actually give out a personal card, and this one in particular is for when we do larger events.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple of us at it. There can be anywhere from 5 to 12 characters sometimes. This was Princesses in the Park a couple of years ago, and there were 12 of us at it. There were live performances, and then everybody got to meet their favorite characters, and everybody autographs the cards. This is the winter ball that we do every year. We are hosting again
You've
this
got one
year.
coming up. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So last year was the very first time I ever ran the winter ball. It was very nerve-wracking, and it was a little hard to sell tickets because I had this vision in my mind, and I was like, guys, this is really cool. Just buy tickets. Trust me.
Yeah.
This year, I have already sold out.
Wow.
That's
Last
awesome.
year, I was
Congrats.
literally selling tickets the night before the ball, and it was super stressful. This year, I had photos to show. People were there last year. They saw it. Every single girl sings, and when we sing, we're not just standing up on the stage and the kids are watching us. We actually come down into the room, maneuver through all of the tables, and then it's all interactive after that. We do glitter tattoos, and we make crafts, and there's picture time and things like that.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, I'm very excited to host it again. It is on January the 6th.
And where is it?
It's going to be at the Air Force Club on Gray Street.
Cool.
Great.
I think we found that too with a lot of our stuff is that people like to see that it's
Yeah.
happened before.
They
and
want to see pictures. They want to hear what people have said about it, that it was good.
Exactly.
Last year wasn't a bomb. I mean, we sold, we were only short about 30 tickets. It's usually 8 per table, sometimes 9 if it's infants kind of don't count.
Yeah.
And there's face painting. So you have to be 3 and up basically to come to the ball because of sensitive skin. We don't want any of the littles to have a reaction,
Right.
so they do need to be 3 and up. Yeah, and again, they will get one of these. And we all sign it, and I have had reports where people have framed them.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
So
they're They were the best thing that I ever came up with. I have no idea how they kind of came about, but they're the best thing we ever did. The children love them because they're colorful and we're on them. They look at us and they're like, oh, it's you. And it's like, yeah, that's us. So the kids are super sweet. And for any of the parents who are interested, and whether they're not or they are, the kids love the front. And the information to find us for future reference is on the back. So it's been a very good tool to help our business grow.
So do most of these parties get booked for a birthday or just for a random occasion throughout the year?
Usually birthdays. People, I think we've become the new clowns, if you will, because we're the ones who come in for the hour and a half, and we just kind of hammer through. There isn't really a lull of us not doing anything. When we arrive, the party starts. We kind of do the meet and greet. Yeah, we do the photos, and then we get right into the fun stuff.
What's that reaction like when you first get there from the kids?
There's about 3 different reactions. There's one where they like open the door and it's like, and then there's other ones that's like, ah! And then, it's like being a little bit of a role model. So we do try and pay attention to how we act and what we say. Example, when we're putting makeup on the kids, I always tell them, I'm like, you look beautiful, but do you want to know a secret? You were already beautiful before the makeup. Makeup is just for fun. Because I want kids, especially little girls, that's what we deal with the most. I want them to grow up and be confident. And that's how I expect everybody who works with me. We're all like that. We try and set a good example for the kids. Be confident, be courageous.
Empowering them.
Be fun, and
That's so important.
It is important.
Do you have like one favorite moment that you could pick out that pops into your head of some, like an experience that you've had throwing the parties?
Gosh, you know what? There's so many. I don't know how to pick one. I really don't. And now that you've asked me, completely blank.
I'm sure they're
I have
great.
one.
Oh, you have
I have one.
Perfect.
There was a little girl, and they waited the hour in line at one of the events to see us. And when she got to the front, she completely had an anxiety attack, shut down. She was just so overwhelmed that this was her idol, and she wanted so much to be near her, but she couldn't handle what was happening. So unfortunately, we did our best, and sometimes we sing to the kids to bring them in. It does calm them down a little, but there just was, unfortunately, nothing we could do on this one. And I managed to find a post just randomly that the mom had posted on Facebook that as the daughter was driving home, she was holding the card and she was crying, and she's like, Mom, I really should have just did it. And this just hit me in the heart. And they replied to one of my other events that they were coming, and I was like, okay, here we go. It was actually going to be at Kidtastic, so I knew I would have all this extra time to really take my time and bring her in. And by the end of the hour that I was there, I got to pick her up, we got hugs, and we got pictures.
That's awesome.
So those are the moments where sometimes they just need that extra time to be able to calm down enough.
That's amazing. How did you first get into it? Like, how did you come up with the idea, hey, I'm going to throw these parties, I'm going to do this?
Here's the thing. I was actually in a contest a long time ago called Brantford Idol that Joan Minery puts on, and the one year I did manage to win it. When you win, Joan puts you out in the community to kind of give you exposure and feel what it's like to be an idol. One of the events I went to with her was a vendor thing, and there was a girl doing this exact thing. She saw me sing, and she came up to me and was like, I can't afford to pay you what you're worth, but I would really like you to work for me because that was awesome. I'm like, I'm in. Unfortunately, she was no longer doing it, but I had already tasted it, and I looked at my mom. I'm like, Mom, we need to do this. So we did. And it's just grown and grown, and now I have so many wonderful people working with me who share the dream that I do, who love to sing, who love children, who, you know what, we would do this for free if it would pay for my house. I would do it for free all day, every day. We're all very blessed that we get to do something we love, that we're all very good at, and use our talents.
Well, that's not the only singing contest you've been in.
No, I've been in lots.
There was one down in the States, perhaps?
No, actually, I think I know what one you're talking about, and it was down in Disney World. It was not real. It was the mimic of American Idol that it was an attraction in Disney World, and they would only take 21 people a day. You would have to audition early in the morning at Hollywood Studios, and they would run 6 shows of 3 people, and the audience actually had little things on their on their chairs that they would vote for you. And then the finale show was at like 6 o'clock at night in the same park, and it got broadcast out into the park on all their big TVs, and you competed against the 6 winners from the earlier show.
Awesome. And on that note, we're going to have to go to break now.
Sorry.
We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. This has been a very entertaining show today. Now we're going to be talking about Christmas, actually.
Yeah.
'Cause Christmas is coming.
Fast.
Did you forget that?
Wait.
Please put a penny in the old man's hat.
Fast.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Fast.
That's a rhyme.
Would you
I'm a
call
poet.
her?
Yeah, you heard me.
Sure.
But we're going to talk about Christmas now. So, Bernie,
Yes.
what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite Christmas memory, or favorite Christmas present that you got, or maybe the worst Christmas present that you ever got? But be careful.
I think there was something I remember as a child. It was for a while my dad did long haul trucking.
Yeah.
So he would be gone for a few days at a time. And I remember leading up to Christmas, there was me, my older brother, older sister, and we were convincing my mom that he would be okay with us opening presents with him being gone. And now looking back, knowing my mom, it probably ate her up inside. She probably wanted to open the gifts more than we did. And I think the one year we actually she let us open one gift.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad in the future, he was talking about it. He was like really disappointed that he wasn't there for this Christmas. So that was a memory I have of ruining Christmas.
Oh, ruining Christmas.
Did you guys always have Christmas growing up?
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
I'm not that much older than you, that there wasn't Christmas. No.
How about you, Jodi?
Well, I have a good story since you went the opposite direction.
A happy one.
Yeah, happier one. So most kids get an advent
Christmas is
calendar,
sad.
and my mom, of course, gave me an advent calendar, but mine was very different. Mine would have little
Liquor
notes.
bottles. Oh.
Mine would have little notes in it, and each note would be like a little, Mom loves you, Mom and Dad love you, go look in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I would run to the bathroom, and there would be a present all wrapped up. And as a child, she would give me things like a box of crayons, or one of those pen erasers, or something fun, or sometimes there'd be a loonie or a toonie in the little pocket. I am now 33 years old, and she still does it for me. She actually just delivered it the other day, and it's even better now. Because now that I'm older, now I've still got a little love note from my parents,
Yeah.
but now I get, I don't know what day number 1 is. I can't figure out what that box is, but day number 2 is Kleenex, and day number 3 is toilet paper.
That sounds sweet.
Yes!
Toiletries taken care of.
Yes, and in a couple of the pockets, there's a couple $10 bills. That's pretty awesome.
Inflation.
Yeah, inflation. Yeah, we've gone up from the loony and the toonie at 5 years old. So I do have good memories, and they've continued on. So thanks, Mom.
That's awesome.
What's your favorite memory of Christmas?
I think my favorite memory was opening up. Will and I got Nintendo 64 for Christmas, and I remember playing it. But he was much younger than me at that point. I can't remember how old exactly he was. But we had 2 controllers, but I didn't plug his in. So I was just playing, and he felt that he was playing. So,
Big brother.
so that's just a little part of it. But I remember getting that and playing that, and having him sitting beside me, thinking that he was playing. And so I'm sorry, Will, but
He still thinks that? Or doesn't know?
how about you?
Mine is Christmas Eve, super inappropriate. I can actually say it on air.
Okay.
No, my Nana is amazing. She likes to call herself a modern Nana. And I was sitting next to her Christmas Eve, and she may have had a drink or two, probably did. And she got a phone call from one of my aunts of something. She'd forgot something, and there was some sort of conversation going on that night. And all I remember hearing on Christmas Eve is her into the phone, and she goes, "You really are up, aren't you?" And I was like, I just died laughing at that point. Like, she just said that to my aunt. It was the funniest thing that's ever happened to me. And I will say to her randomly throughout the year now, like, "You really are, aren't you?" And she just laughs so hard too, because she remembers. And that to me is just my most favorite Christmas ever. That memory, it's just so fun. That's my Nana. She is who she is. It's amazing.
That's awesome. We really covered a wider range of.
Yeah, I think we have it all covered.
Yeah, I think we do.
I love Nana.
Me too.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever? Do you guys do real Christmas trees or fake?
I don't have a Christmas tree. I have beautiful ornaments to go on a Christmas tree, but my house is too small. It is filled with princess things on every single level.
We did the fake and then went to the real. We went out, did the whole like chop down yourself, and then now we have a little white Christmas tree about this tall.
See, that's what I need.
And it's perfect.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for
both
having
of you.
us.
This has been a
Thank
great
you.
show. Thank you to Ashley Furniture for